Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Stephen Place, lead analyst at Insider Report, and today we're going to take a look at a stock that I think has a lot of upside left in it. The CEO just dropped $1 million into the stock. What I'd like to do now is step through the overall narrative of how the stock has been trading, what's been going on underneath the surface, and when that CEO purchased those shares, and the kinds of profit potential that you can be looking at right now. So let's go ahead and hop over to the stock really quick. This is a recent IPO. So it did IPO back in January, and let me go ahead and get my pen, and we want to do yellow. It IPO'd back in January. Now, the original IPO price is actually back down here. So it had a very strong move upon its listing. And after that, it faded. Now, there was nothing necessarily the company was doing wrong. It was more a function of just broken momentum across the board. If you remember back January to March, we had a lot of parabolic moves. We had a lot of IPO runners, SPAC runners. All of the momentum and high-risk kinds of names were running. We had all the meme stocks. And then once everything fell apart, a lot of IPOs pulled back. A lot of SPACs pulled back. A lot of those momentum stocks got completely crushed. So this was a symptom of a market-related cause, not anything fundamental to the company. So it did pull back to its original pricing right here, and that's where we found aggressive buyers. We don't know if these are institutions. They could be underwriters defending the original share price, something along those lines. And during that entire time, it's just a nasty, choppy mess. There's not a trend. Any kind of breakouts have failed and things like that. One of the other things that you have to remember with IPOs is that oftentimes there's a lockup involved where certain participants in that company cannot sell their shares for about 6 months after. Oftentimes, a lot of people think that's a bearish event, but what I found in my experience is that the selling into that expiration generally gets priced in already. And that's what we saw where the IPO lockup happened right here. We saw about 3 days and almost retested at IPO pricing. And then I think that was a pretty sustainable bottom. We came back and retested it right here, saw a little bit of a failed breakdown, and then we had a really nice earnings event. So a very good gap up. So all of that was happening. There were some technical improvements in the company. We saw fundamental improvements with respect to earnings and things like that. And then back at the beginning of September, the CEO picked up $1 million worth of stock right around here. Now, the stock did see a gap up. It did fail a little bit, but it has been going sideways that entire time. Now, I want you to keep in mind, look at the range that's been developing over the past month and compare it to the range that happened from May to June. All right. These are much cleaner trade opportunities. This is much less volatile, indicating that the participants involved are stronger hands instead of just wild momentum and low liquidity across the board. So this has a lot of improvements on the technical side. It has a lot of improvements on the fundamental side. It is still a growing company, and it has, in my opinion, a very high chance of seeing a test of those IPO levels. And combine that with the CEO signaling significant conviction, not just in being the CEO and saying, I like the stock. It is more about him dropping $1 million into the company, right? So that is how we know when a CEO truly believes in the stock. So we're looking at this and we're expecting a push back to those IPO range highs. That would be about a 35% return on capital initially, and then we're looking for a breakout from that. We also do have an options play that is juicing those returns where we can get an easy double or 150% return on capital over the course of about a month. If we can get a really nice rally from here. So if you want access to our portfolio as well as our methodology, there's a special training that you can sign up for right now that shows you the 3 primary signals that we look for with insider buying. Go watch that webinar. At the end of that webinar is going to be a special opportunity for you to get access to our portfolio at Insider Report, as well as the reasoning behind each and every trade, what insiders were buying and when, how much size, how much conviction, as well as the stock trade and the option trade and a stop loss embedded into it as well. So click below this video. There should be a link that'll take you to the special presentation, that free training that you can get access to right now, and then go sign up after that. And then I'll see you on the other side. Take care.